Hey, class professor Kev here. So this week in our assignment, we talked about bonuses, incentive programs, and if you only had a limited budget, what would you do? The majority of you went for, I would just divide it over the number of employees. I see why it feels fair. Gonna argue it's not fair though. Why do you want to reward someone who's not doing a great job? It's a fair question. Now, let's look at everybody. You have your outstanding employees. When they see that everyone got the same bonus, like, guess Kev didn't appreciate the extra effort I did. See if I'll be doing that again. See, that could irritate them. Now, let's call them the B employees. They weren't in the top five, maybe six. Now they're like, well, everyone got the same bonus. Okay, because if you only gave it to the 5%, then it was ever like close, six or seven. Hey, I worked really hard this year. I think I'm a much better employee. I didn't get a bonus. That's what led you to just divide it over everyone. But then you do have the employees who are late all the time. You got to tell them to get off their phone. They're just not doing a great job. They're like, hey, this is great. I just got a bonus. Why would you want to do that? I think it's a fair question. I wouldn't want to do it. And again, hopefully that's going to be like, hey, I need to do a better job to get that bonus, or I need to leave. That's why just trying to divide it over, I see why it feels fair, but I'm going to argue it's not because it's not fair to the employees who are putting the extra effort. Let me tell you a story, a little background on this one. So I'm working in a credit union. In class, we had a sweet deal that we messed up. So what they were doing is every 6 months they gave you a 5% raise. So 10%, a little bit more because of the compounding a year. That's amazing. You're not going to find a company that's giving you 5% every 6 months. I mean, it's going back a ways, probably 25, 30 years. And we complained about it. I remember just sitting there going, why? But sometimes I'd fall for it, but I usually didn't because I'm like, this is amazing money. I just kind of shut up, to be honest. But it wasn't fair because some employees were doing a great job, some weren't, and they were getting the same 5%. We complained. You know what happened, right? Get called into a meeting with the president. He's like, okay, you know, I see a lot of you feel that this system isn't fair. I'm going to adjust it. Now you're going to get a raise based on your contributions. And I saw a few people like, yeah. And I was just like, put my head down. President's like, why you get your head down? I just lost a lot of money, sir. He's like, you sure did, son. Because what happened was you got a raise based on what you did. Top raise was 5%. 5% just gone. I was like, that's just silly. And people like, oh, it feels fair, but I'd rather have 10% than five. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're getting 10% too. I want my 10%. And it worked. Top people got 5%. Everyone else got something less than five. The mediocre employees, people weren't doing a great job, got like one or two. Felt fairer, but man, I lost 5% every year. And I just remember sitting there going, I can't believe we complained about this and it cost us money because that's exactly what it did. So again, when you look at fairness, there's lots of ways to look at it. Maybe you could allocate the money so people who are going above and beyond get a slightly higher bonus. This happened to me when I was first working at the bank. I was a new employee and I worked hard. I'm sorry if that sounds conceited. Whenever they needed anything extra done, I'd volunteer. And I remember it might have been my second year there, first or second. Typically, the company got 2 weeks bonus. All the employees got 2 weeks bonus. And my president, my boss called me in. They're like, just so you know, we're giving you 3 weeks of bonus. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. 2 weeks is amazing. Like, we just wanted to say thank you for all the extra work you did. That was the money well spent, I guess is the term I'm looking for. Because that made me go, you know what? I feel appreciated. And I continued to even work harder because of that. I didn't go, oh, I should have got 4 weeks. I appreciated it. So this is where that can get really tricky. maybe you want to take the pool and say, okay, we're going to give our top performers a little bit more, the middle people some, and the lower end maybe less. Everyone gets something, but you spread it out so it feels fairer. That could be a better approach. So that way, you may not have gotten a lot of at the top, but you got something more to be rewarded for your hard effort. Just something to think about. But I just wanted to share this because I guess I wasn't surprised, but mostly like, nope, just make it fair and divide it. It's not really being fair to the top performers, though. And honestly, it's not being fair to the bottom people who are getting rewarded for doing nothing, because in some cases, they're not the greatest employees. I just wanted to share that opinion with you. As always, I appreciate taking a few minutes to watch my videos. Hope you're having a truly dazzling day.